Tell me 3 things that you've learned since we've been talking. It's not Christ. So this is not Christ right here. This is what I want you to do. This is not Christ. This is what I want you to do. I want you to step on it. Step on this false image.
Step on it.
Come step on it, brother. Come step on the false image.
Step on that.
Step on that false image.
That's
a false image right here.
Step on the sun.
Come on, little man. Step on it. Why you can't do this? This is we just read that this is the devil right here. So let's step on this. Where would you be at? Would you be a so-called Hispanic?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you be like a Puerto Rican, so-called Mexican? Where would you be at? What tribe would you be from? You're Puerto Rican. So guess what? You will be an Israelite according to the Bible. So you'll be from the tribe of Ephraim, right? Have you ever heard that before?
No.
Okay, so check this out right here. So the reason why you call yourself Puerto Rican, because Puerto Rican just means rich port or Puerto riches. When the so-called gringo actually came here, they actually enslaved your people. And they called y'all Puerto Riches or Puerto Rican because there was a lot of gold there and stuff like that. And so they took all the natural resources out of that world and they out of that land, and they enslaved your people. So if you look at let me see, this sign right here, this is like the Taino Indian. Are you familiar with that, the Taino? Okay, so the Taino Indians, which are the Puerto Ricans, they were actually had yokes of iron put on their neck, right? Check this out right here. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. In verse 15, it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God." So if we don't listen to what God has to say, right? "To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So the reason why the Native Americans lost all their buffalo, the reason why the so-called Puerto Ricans, now their name was changed, is because we broke the commandments and all these curses fell upon us. We were hung. We were like used as foot warmers. The so-called blacks had to pick cotton because we broke God's law. Now check this out right here. Have you ever been to Puerto Rico?
No.
No?
Well, my mom was.
Your mom was born there. Where was your dad born? In Mexico. So you actually would be a if your dad is your dad Mexican, so you actually be an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar. Because it all goes by who your father is, right? Because the father actually carries the seed. When you take an apple and you put it here in America and put it into the ground, right? And you take that same apple seed and put it into China, you're still going to get an apple as the seed, right? So you come from the seed line of your father, and that's according to the Bible. So you actually be an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar. So have you ever been to Mexico?
Yeah.
How are we living in Mexico? How are we living in Mexico? Are we living good in Mexico? A little bit? So there's no cartels there? No drugs? No human trafficking? Right, so we're not living that good in Mexico. We're not living that good in Southeast San Diego either. Check this out right here. It says, this is verse 16. "Cursed shall thou be in the city." We're living pretty bad here in San Diego, in Southeast San Diego. We're also living bad in Mexico as well. "Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field." So, so-called Mexicans, you'll have to pick up things like strawberry fields. We had to pick cotton. This child right here is probably like maybe 2 years old. This right here is a slave manifest, right? The youngest child on the slave manifest was 8 months old. This happened to our people because we're all brothers and sisters because we broke God's laws, right? So in order to reverse these curses, we actually have to return back to God's laws. So check this out right here. Are you familiar like with like cartel crime and gang crime, like between Norteño, Sereno, and all that type of stuff? That's in the Bible. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. It says, "So that the man that is tender among you." So we used to have a relationship where we can speak to each other, right? And not kind of like mean mug each other and say, you know, what that nigga looking at. That's how we used to be back in the day, right? It says, "And very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother." Now we're going to have an evil eye towards one another. It's going to be black on black crime. It's going to be cartel crime. It's going to be all of that because we broke God's law. It says, "And toward the wife of his bosom." So you're like, for instance, who's known for leaving their family? What group of men is known for leaving their family? Well, Mexicans, blacks, they either get put in jail, they die, they're incarcerated, whatever it may be, right? So we're known for leaving our family. It says, "And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave." That's in the Bible right there. That we will leave our family because of these curses right here, right? So let me ask you this. So, in order to get out of these curses right here, we actually now have to keep the commandments. Do you know any laws at all? You don't know commandments at all?
What? Not to lie.
So is that? Not to lie. Okay, that's one. You got one? Well, that's not really a commandment, but I understand what you're saying though. Well, check that right, brother. Check that right, brother. I'm gonna give y'all edification real quick. So, do you eat things like shrimp, crab, and lobster? You don't eat that? What about, do you like pork? Okay. So, you say you love God, right? Do you eat pork? Check this out.
Do not call what I have played dirt.
Well, check this out right here. This is the book of Leviticus. This is what God said, not what Paul said. This is what God said. So Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine. So swine is what? El pastor, pork. It says, though he divide the hoof, he has a divided hoof, and he be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Check this out right here. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So a pig has all types of tapeworms in it. It has all types of parasites in it. Pig, exactly. The pig will actually eat another pig. It will eat a person. He eats his own feces. Right. It has no sweat glands. So, exactly. So do you think y'all supposed to stop eating pork for the Lord after hearing that? Okay. All praise to the Most High.
God puts you in a predicament, but sometimes due to striving to go by the golden rule, you're put in a desperate state in the wilderness and eat what's coming, else when you won't die.
But no, the Most High, if you have faith in the Most High, He will bring you.
I gotta
food,
go now.
like He did with Ezekiel.
Oh yeah,
you know,
the raven.
You're the raven, exactly. There you go. So check this out, sister. You said you eat. Do you eat like crab? Not crab. You said no shrimp, right? Okay, because if you do eat shrimp, don't eat it. You have to repent from it. If you look at this picture right here, a shrimp has the same biological makeup as a cockroach. Now, would you eat a cockroach? Right, so we can't eat shrimp either. So this is the things that you can't eat that's out of the water. So this is verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So what can you eat that comes out of the water? Right, and it has to have fins and scales. So we can't go down there and eat sea urchins and things of that nature, right? We only eat things that have fins and scales on them. So do you think you can, like, you say you don't eat it, but you can,
I don't know.
okay, that's good, that's good. So now, let me ask you this one last question. Who is this man right here? Jesus, right? That's what you believe that. Okay, let me show you who Christ is. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1. I'm gonna start at verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto them his servants things which must shortly come to pass. So revelation means to the revealing, right? Check this out right here. I'm gonna jump down to verse 14. We're gonna see if this is Jesus or not. Let's start verse 13. It says, we got to find out right now.
Is that Charles Manson?
Let's find out right now. It says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot. So Christ had a garment on that was down to his foot, right? And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. So now, does this man have woolly hair? Do you know what wool is? Wool is like the texture of sheep or cotton. What group of people have woolly hair? Black people, so-called black people. So if you look at this picture right here, this will be like what it will kind of more look like a depiction of what wool is. So wool is a texture of like of cotton and of black people. So that would be strike 1 for this guy right here. In California, we got the 3 strikes, you get locked up forever, right? So this is strike 1. So this guy doesn't have woolly hair, right? It says, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. This man right here, sister, has blue eyes. Do you know why Christ had red eyes? He had red eyes because his first miracle was turning water into wine. That was his first miracle, right? This guy does not have those eyes. So now that's strike 2 for this guy right here, right? Let's check it out. This is going to be the last one. Let's see if this man's going to get locked up. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass. So now are your feet the same color as the rest of your body?
Yes.
Right. So John the Revelator was bowing down, right, to Christ. And so he's seen his feet. It says, and his feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass? It's brown. It's kind of like it's a derivative of brown. That's what color brass is. Now let's see how dark brown Christ was. As if they burned in a furnace. So this man is strike 3 for him. He does not have dark skin. This will be a more accurate, this is not Christ, but this will be a more accurate depiction of Christ. So this man is actually an imposter, an impersonator, right? So again, I ask you again, now is this Jesus according to the Bible? This is still Jesus. You still believe this is Jesus? After what we just read. Okay, so this right here would not be Jesus. We just read a depiction out of the Bible. This man is a man by the name of Caesar Borgia. He's the son of Pope Alexander VI. He's actually a homosexual. He's a homosexual. Leonardo Da Vinci actually painted this picture of this man right here. So this couldn't possibly be Jesus right here. Let me show you that in the Bible. This is the Wisdom of Solomon, because I'm going to ask you again. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his child, soon taken away. So this image again was painted by Leonardo Da Vinci, right? It says made an image of his child, soon taken away. Now honor him as God. We honor this God as God when it's not the Most High at all, or it's not Christ at all. Which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Thus, in the process of time, an ungodly custom, grown strong, was kept as a law. And graven images, this is a graven image right here, were worshipped by the commandments of kings. So we have been brainwashed to believe that this is God. This is why it's important, or that this is Christ. This is why it's important that we actually read the Bible, so we can find out the lies that we've been told. So do you still believe this is God after reading all this?
I'm a Christian.
Well, it's not about, so the book is not about religion.
I don't know.
So the Bible is not a book on religion. It's a book on laws, statutes, and commandments, and it was given to a group of people, right? So you still believe this is Christ? Let me show you something right here. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9, right? So now this is talking about the Most High God, the Father of not of this guy, but the Father who will be of Christ. It says, Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. So this is the Most High, right? That means he had a body because he had to sit down. Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. It's giving us the description what his hair looked like, right? This guy has no woolly hair at all. His hair is like dog's hair. It's straight. It's not his hair at all. It says his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So this possibly couldn't be him at all, right? So do you think that you can get this image out of your mind? I know it's been told to us by Abuela. It's been told to us in the Iglesias that this is Christ, right? But do you think you can try to remove this out of your mind, this image of who they say is Christ out of your mind, and worship the one that's in the Bible, according to the Bible? Because that's how we find out who God is. That's how we find out what we need to do in these last days. It's by reading the Bible. We can't just sit up here and just listen to our pastors and stuff like that. Then they're going to tell us something. So you think you can start trying to erase this God out of your head? Okay, let me give you a flyer real quick. Do you speak Spanish? Okay. Well, I got flyers in Spanish as well, but I do. Okay, so I have a YouTube channel with all my teachings on it and stuff like that. You can check it out, and it destroys this image of who this man is right here, because that's not Christ. And the reason why we are still suffering as a people is because our oppressor has rule over us, and he has real estate in our head, thinking that this is him, but it's not. So before you leave, tell me 3 things that you've learned since we've been talking. It's not Christ. So this is not Christ right here. This is what I want you to do. This is not Christ. This is what I want you to do. I want you to step on it. Step on this false image.
I'll step on it.
Come step on it, brother. Come step on the false image.
Step on that.
Step on that false image.
That's a false image right here.
Step on it, son. Come on, little man. Step on it.
Can't do that.
Why you can't do this? We just read that this is the devil right here.
Go ahead,
let's step on his. Look, step on that man. Step on that man right there. That's the devil right there. Step on him.
False.
That's right.
That's false.
I know you got more than that. Jump on him like you jumping on the trampoline. That's right. That's the devil that the Bible speaks of right there. He's not God. Let me show you what Christ actually looks like.
They got us fooled.
They got us fooled with that. like I was telling the sister right here. Let me show you what Christ actually looks like. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, and verse. Okay, sister, you'll be an Israelite.
God bless you.
It says
That's the motto.
verse 14.
She's gonna be a model.
Huh?
She's gonna be a model.
Yeah. This is the Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. It said his head and his hairs were white like wool. This man doesn't have woolly hair. We have woolly hair, right? My hair is short, you know, but wool is like cotton. It's like sheepskin. Yeah. This will kind of look more like Christ right here, right? Yeah. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. This man doesn't have white woolly hair, right? He has dog stringy hair, right? It says, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. That man got blue eyes, right? You see the blue eyes on him? You see those eyes? Those are blue eyes right here. Christ had red eyes. The reason he had red eyes because he drunk wine. That was his first miracle, was turning water into wine. So you actually have Christ's blood running through your body, right? You will be an Israelite. If this is your son, brother?
Yes, yes.
So would you be a so-called black man?
Yes, sir.
So you'll be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's the tribe that Christ came from. That's a mighty tribe right there. That's the tribe of the lions. Check this out right here. Nice. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. So you will be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, one of God's chosen people. If you look at this right here, this picture right here, both of y'all look at this right here. Yeah. This happened to us. This is a slave manifest right here, right? This is a slave manifest of South Carolina. There you go, brother. The ship, the Edmund, right? Yeah. Or the Edgefield. So the youngest kid on here was 8 months old. We were put into the bottom of slave ships. Let me actually show you that inside of the Bible, because let me show you this in the Bible, brother. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So we never went back into Egypt. Egypt means slavery or bondage, right? It says with ships. We were on these ships, getting thrown off, being right here back here, packed in like sardines. Yeah. People having menstrual cycles on one another, things of that nature, right?
You can ride the bike over it.
It says, and you can ride it over there. You can pop a wheelie on it if you want to. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning we're not going to see our homeland again, right? Because we broke God's laws. Check this out right here. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemy. We were sold right here. You see this? To our enemy. This young boy will be like the age of your son. He would have been used for a foot warmer. You see that? This brother right here, this young man right here, he had to sit right there. These are things that happen to us. Yeah. Picking cotton. He's probably no older than 13 months, maybe 2 years old at most, with the bag of cotton right here. This happened to our people right here. You know, we were the ones being lynched, being hung. All that stuff happened to us as a people. It says, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bond men, meaning slave men, and bond women. And no man shall buy you, meaning nobody's going to redeem us out of this captivity, right? So now, if breaking the laws, because that's what happened, we broke God's laws, and this is why we had to serve these oppressors right here for breaking God's laws.
How do we break the law?
This is how we broke the law. Let me ask you this real quick right here. Do you eat things like pork?
I do.
You eat pork. What about shrimp, crab, and lobster?
I do.
Let me show you this in the Bible real quick. These are things that we did. This is one way we broke the law because we fell into idolatry. Yeah. So this is check this out right here, brother. Let's see. This is so y'all say you love God, right? You're saying you love God, right? Check this out. It says, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. So the swine, which is the pork, the pig, is an what they call carbon dating and stuff. When the oldest tree is 5,000 years old.
If you cut the tree and look
at the range, yeah, that's called dendrochronology. You know?
Trees will tell you just by looking at the range on the inside of cut them down, how old they are.
Right, okay. Yeah, dendrochronology.
The actual oldest tree that has actually been documented found is over 60 million years old.
Where's that at? What I seen was
it's actually overseas in Russia.
Can you show me that real quick? Because I never seen that. Because what I've seen was the oldest tree was only 5,000. 5,000 years old, not that old.
The reason why I know about the one in Russia is because it's right there in the old what's now Ukraine area.
But it's in one of the farmlands out there.
Tell me the name of that, so I can see that. I've never seen that before.
I didn't find it online. I found it when I was over there visiting.
You probably can Google it though, right?
If you
can show me, because we got to believe. So this is
see, that's just falling in the category of being carnal-minded if you're having that route.
But check this out. This is Isaiah chapter 34. Let me read this real quick.
Well, okay, online it says that the great face in the Christian mind is not
see? So check it right. So this is book of Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 21. Produce your cause. So you got to show me, right? It says, saith the Lord, bring forth your strong reason. Saith the King of Jacob. Hey, y'all admit for the Lord? Come here. Benaki. Who is this? Jesus? Are you willing to bet your hat on that? This is Jesus.